I think it wasn't until I walked the Camino de Santiago that I got so comfortable with the word masturbate. Buen Camino, Liz.
Buen Camino, Jen.
So we've already walked 100 miles on the Camino. And what do they say about the Camino being split up, Liz? How is it?
So the first third is for your body. The second third is for your mind, which we learned. And the final third is for your soul.
And this right now, this part is for our mind.
Oh, it is.
That is where we hit 100 miles. Let's go get 101.
I really didn't notice until I looked at the footage later. The look on your face as I'm like, we've had a day off. It's time to go. And you are like...
So we're in good shape. Bound for Laredo. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was kind of dead inside. No, that was painful. That was really painful. I was hurting. And Jen was feeling fantastic, as you can tell from her smiling, pretty face. And meanwhile, I wanted to punch her right in her pretty, smiling face.
This is the only day where we walk entirely separately.
Setting off on my own today.
Now there were hours or periods or miles that we would walk separately, but this is the only time that we went different.
Took different paths.
So I'm walking alone today. It is a beautiful walk. I miss Liz, but I'm just feeling great today and just so happy to be here. Hello, Laredo. I made it.
Oh, yeah, here I am waiting for you, like,
hey, Lizzie.
And she's skipping in. Yeah. Yeah.
Buen Camino.
The next day, I have a terrible day. I come from that high of frolicking through the woods to just a really, really bad place, just a bad walk.
So today sucks. I hate this day, and it's stupid cornfields. My feet hurt. My backpack feels heavy, but we're almost there, so beer soon.
You were so happy that I had a shit day.
And not for the reason that, you would think. It wasn't because I was being, malicious and, wanted you to have a bad day, but it showed that my bad day was okay and I was allowed to have it, and because had you not had a bad day or let me see your struggle that day,
that was a tough day.
I would never have put on a face again that I had a bad day. I probably would have shoved that shit down like I'm really good at doing, and I would have hit it, and then I would have learned nothing from the Camino, so I was really grateful to see that I was not alone in feeling really shitty.
Our German friends have given what translates to reindeer grease for our feet.
You maybe learned how to walk through pain on day 11, and it really was day 12 that I learned to walk through pain. And here I think is where I follow you into the mental stage.
Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. Yeah, really great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's walk on.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It started to get fun. Yeah, it hurt, but it was fun. Like, what kind of shenanigans are we going to get into today?
I think the fact that pain can be put on the back burner starts to really come to the front of our worlds now. I mean, we can continue on even when it hurts, and not only that, we can continue on when it hurts and not bring other people down. And I think that is a learning experience that every pilgrim has, and you cannot say when it will happen, but it probably will happen sometime in the second stage of your pilgrimage.
People know what they're talking about when they say that second third is all about the mind. I really just pushed through it, and you pushed through it, and I didn't realize it at the time that I was doing that. And I got goosebumps thinking about it, that you could do anything you want. You can push through the pain. It's all up here. It's all up here.
Buen Camino.
That beer right there. Oh my God, it was, yeah, here I go. It was so good. It was so good. So we met a lot of people in the Camino. Most of them were amazing people.
Yeah.
But some not so much. The morning was decent. The afternoon was spectacular. And then we could have kept going, but then you saw a sign.
I did see a sign. We were cruising. We're dancing. We're laughing. We're
even raining a little bit, and we don't care.
Hills don't matter. Rain doesn't matter. And then I see a bicycle with an albergue sign and free Wi-Fi.
We're stopping. So we get to this albergue, and super cute. The building was really cool. It had this really beautiful mural on the outside of this woman's face. It was really pretty. And it was cheap. It was like €6, for the night, but really basic, It was a big room with a shit ton of bunk beds in it, essentially. So we go and we have a really fun dinner.
And we all just sort of sat on these picnic tables and ate our peanuts by the fire and watched the pilgrims walk by.
Everything's a locals like us.
It was awesome.
It was
awesome.
Yeah.
It was just we got in kind of early, and it was nice to just relax and chill and really embrace the locals around. And it was fun. And then we went to bed. And then then things changed just a little bit. So we settle in for the night. It's about 10:30 p.m. It's pitch black inside. The only light coming in is from the two windows that Jen and I are sleeping in front of, across from each other. And I'm in bed. I'm facing the window on my side. And all of a sudden, I hear like noises. And I get brave enough to kind of roll over to take a peek at what it was. There's a dude laying in the bunk next to me, totally no sheets over him, no blanket over him, not under his pants. He's in full view.
You went chief mode.
I went full Navy chief, and I was like, you stop that right now. You stop that. Pull your pants up. And so he does, and he's like, no, hang on. He's like this, and he pulls his pants down. Now, this is important because this is how I identify him later. Because at the time, I have no idea who's sleeping next to me, because you fill in the beds as you come in, and we didn't see who was coming in. You sit straight up in bed. I see your wild mane everywhere, Our hair isn't our priority on the Camino, ladies, okay? So it was a little out of control, and freshly washed, too. And so it was nice and big. And so I saw her silhouette pop up, and she's texting me like, was he masturbating? I was like, yes, he was. He was totally masturbating. I don't want people to hear this and then like be worried about going on the Camino, because it's not like that. You get a bad apple once in a while. At the time, I handled it the best way that I knew how, and it stopped, and that was the end of that.
Onto him.
Pull your pants up. Oh my gosh. It was kind of funny. It was really funny. But the worst part was not knowing who it was, because, while I wasn't afraid of course, you know, I'm fine. I didn't want to sleep next to him again. So our priority for the next day was to figure out who the culprit was. But he was up and gone before we even got up, remember? And we spent the entire day obsessing over who this person was.
We didn't think it would be the guy that it turned out to be because
of who he was walking with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had very little to go on of who this person was, but I remember the belt loops, and there was definitely belt loops. I saw belt loops in the silhouette, right? And why is that important? Because people sleep in what they're going to wear the next day usually, and it was easy to identify, right? So when I got up in the morning and I was doing breakfast, I was like looking at everybody's pants and trying to figure out who it was, and we figured it out.
A 23-mile challenge. We're up for it.
In the midst of sort of like this investigation, we have a rather epic day.
What a fun day, though. Oh my God, what a great day. What a great day.
Such a great day. It was a great day. But we get just tremendously lost.
Well, there's an alternate route. They say don't take it, but we're going to take it. And we get to a fence, and we're like, we should have thought, you know what? There's a fence there.
Every time I see this picture, I'm like, don't jump the fence. But
meanwhile, I'm like, do it, because that was one of the funnest days ever. Oh, it was so fun.
We jumped the fence. And we realized, like, as we're walking along coastline that has just no barrier, and we're just looking straight down cliffs, and no barbed wire.
The cows.
We may have taken a wrong turn.
Literally in with the cows. Usually we're seeing the cows on the other side, right?
Like, we're lost. We need to get out of somebody's property at this point. So we go, you know, under.
Keep the bum down.
The barbed wire.
Great job.
Yeah, and it was so easy to get out. It was not easy at all. It was not easy. I've never climbed under or over a barbed wire fence. This is quite new to me. So we are escaping someone's property ever so delicately so that we don't get stabbed in the bum as we're climbing under the barbed wire fence.
Down.
But I think each of us got a little bump and a scrape there.
Well, I didn't, because you were so very vocal about getting
downer. So we climb under the fence. And where does it lead us, though?
That was the route we had to take. Luckily, no train came.
Do not try this at home.
Onto a train track.
Okay.
Boy.
What would you say? A solid mile we had to walk on there?
It felt like a mile. It was probably more like half, but it felt like a mile because if a train had come by, we would have literally had to dive into the
nettle. We would have had to dive into nettle.
It was not good. The train did not come by. And we sort of just laughed about it.
So today involved barbed wire, railroad tracks, luckily no train, and it did not involve 23 miles, but it does involve new friends.
Yay!
Hi.
We finally figured out who the culprit was from the night before. Okay, which was really important.
Learning who the masturbator was actually really helped you to close a little bit of a chapter, because you were a little bit afraid of this person and of spending another night anywhere near them. And you kept, as we walked that day, you would stop in your actual tracks and go, oh, because you couldn't get the vision
image,
out of your head.
You know, and I consider myself a tough lady, you know, and I can deal with a lot. And being in the military is really, you know, I have a thick skin, um, but that's an image that I wasn't. It was messing with my flow on the Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I needed this solved. I needed to know that one, I was safe, and two, I was back in control, right? And right now, the only thing that was on my brain was who this person was and how do I steer clear of this person, right? So yeah, it was consuming, and there was a lot of times during the day. You're right. I've kind of forgot about that. That there was a lot of times during the day that I couldn't shake it. You know, I couldn't shake the image out of my head. And it you know, when you're on the Camino and you're walking it, it's only you and your thoughts. So yeah, so we got to this great place. It was an albergue right next to a restaurant and cafe, which is usually hard to find. They're not usually connected, which is it's really fun to see. Oh my God, remember when we walked in and I was trying to be all like, you know, suave, I guess, and I swung around and my backpack knocked over the entire basket of sticks, right? And you know who came to help us? The culprit.
The masturbator.
Yeah.
Now,
and
you had given me some clues as to the masturbator, and you had told me that you thought it was this one guy because of the belt loops, and I didn't believe you because that guy was walking with a partner who turned out to be
his mother.
And yes. I feel really bad about not believing you because it clearly was that guy. But at the time, I was just worried for you because the guy you thought it was, and who I did not think it was helping us as Liz knocks over all of the sticks, you know. And so I ask you, are you okay? And we're like cleaning up the sticks that we had knocked over. We made quite the entrance. And, you know, you say, why? And I'm like, that's the guy. You were so focused on the belt loops. You never actually looked the guy in the face, right? And at this point, you realize that you might be staying another night.
Yeah.
With the masturbator.
Yeah. I hadn't put it together because even seeing his face, I don't think I would have recognized who it was. But there was a moment, maybe an hour later, that was very clear. You and I are sitting at our table with new friends, and then at the next table over, the guy that was helping us pick up all the sticks and everything, who I kind of thought it was him all day, he turned like a certain way, and I saw his silhouette, and I knew, brain like immediately knew, that's him. That's the guy.
That was in your head. Guy. It was in your head all day. That was what you couldn't get.
I focused on it all day, and it was like the two images just merged and was like, ta-ding, this is the guy. And I looked at you, who was sitting next to me, and was like, that's him. That I cannot be more clear that is the guy. And
I believed you at this point. I'm like, okay.
Well, it didn't take much to prove it later because he turned out to be quite a character that evening.
He was hitting on two younger pilgrims. He was belligerent.
Very drunk. Very drunk.
It certainly solidified the fact that this was our culprit. Although at this point, after you froze and said, that's him, it was no doubt. Like for me, that would no doubt. Belt loops did not convince me. You freezing and say, that is him. I just saw his back just right, and that's him. I was like, okay, that's him. That's him. And then he proved to be just an absolute drunk predator hitting on women. Just a really
and then his mom went to bed.
Mom.
Right?
Have we talked about that?
Yeah. So anyway, so we figured out who the guy was. And to be honest, I was so relieved to know who it was.
Yeah.
Because not knowing was not okay for me, right? Because it meant that he still had the control, I guess, you know. But now that I knew who it was, I knew how to avoid him. And after that night, we never saw him again. Hey, Jen, remember when Llanes threw us a party?
I do remember. I remember.
No se oye nada.
So this is our day off in Llanes. It's a little rainy, but we're really glad to be not hiking, and all of our clothes are washed and dried with a dryer. So things are looking up. Oh, that's talent.
We also have another significant thing that happens on this day off, and you would think on a day off that maybe there wouldn't be a major story, but I ate some refried beans.
Oh, wow. You can see where this story is gonna go.
And I really wanted those refried beans. We went to this Mexican restaurant. It was so good. It's still like your favorite meal of the Camino.
It was the best Mexican food I'd had in such a long time. It was
And
so
yet,
good.
You took one taste of the refried beans and you said, this tastes funny. And I just was like, what?
Oh, give it to me. She ate the whole bowl of them.
I don't know if I'm ready to talk about the next day.
If I could talk about masturbate-gate, you could talk about playa de poo.
The next day, I would get violently ill in a town called
Oh.
You know, this day should have been about a mile marker that we hit. We hit a major mile marker, which was 200 miles walked. And what it really was about this day was meeting violently ill.
I'll always have the story to tell about how I tossed my cookies outside of a church in the town called Pooh.
I had mapped this out, and I knew at this point that we were going to land our 200th mile in a town called Pooh, and I thought that was actually kind of funny at the time, but I didn't know that I was going to upchuck all over the town called Pooh.
In front of a church. The poor thing, the poor girl. She lifts up the lid, you know, to relieve herself, not realizing that there's no floor to it. There's no bottom to the trash can. So she lifts up the thing and throws up, and it goes right through to her shoes.
We walked 8 miles.
Yeah, 8 miles. You say that like we only walked 8.
We were supposed to walk a lot more, but I mean, like, let's be honest, like when I was done. I had food poisoning.
So here we are on day 17, 18, and we've decided to just go ahead and bus forward from Barro to Rio de Seo. It's been a tough day for both of us, and yeah, we decided to bus forward.
So we're on a bus. Feels a little like failure, but at the same time, I couldn't walk today. And hey, we'll get to the end of our stage. So
At home, if I had food poisoning, I wouldn't be able to get up off the couch.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, you're like, I only walked 8 miles this day.
Yeah. We are officially in the mental stage, right? We're like,
Yes.
we're beyond any kind of physical ailment. No physical ailment is really going to drag us down too much. It is going to drag us. It's not going to define us.
Yay. Here's to the next 200 miles.
All right, Liz, what do they need to do?
Like and subscribe.
Let's get this party started. After masturbate-gate, I don't think I can use any kind of
hand signals. Easy for him. It was kind of small. Jen, how much do you love Playa de Poo? What's wrong, Jen?
I want my beans. My beans in here.
I have not missed the irony of the fact that the town that I heaved my guts all over was called Poo.
Hey, Jen. Remember when pull your pants up? And so he does, and he's like, no, hang on. He's like,